Hello, Verbling.com members. This is Geoff Watson here to help you this hour with another English class brought to you by Verbling.com. Verbling.com is where you can connect and practice with a native speaker instantly. We have a couple of minutes for our VIP premium members to join the class. And so, great. Welcome, Marcia. And what we're going to do this hour is to use some resources, a podcast from the British Broadcasting Corporation. So we have a transcript to read and review, and then we are going to be listening to the podcast and reading at the same time. The document that I have prepared for you is called GW, and I need to find it. It's a PDF document, GWF, and I'm waiting for a student to help me as to the exact number of that document. Where is it? I'm just looking it up now. 7. So GWF7. Right. So if you could please download that document. It looks like Alpine has put the link to that document in the Verbling.com chat box. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the British royal family, and specifically their newest addition, a princess, the young woman who married one of the princes, Prince William. And there was some criticism of her in that she was a plastic person, appearing to be too perfect to be a real person. And so what I would like to do is to say hello to people. I would like to ask these questions. So, is there a royal family associated with your country? What do you think of royal families? Personally, I am Canadian. The British royal family is connected officially with Canada, so the Queen of England is the Queen of Canada, and personally, I hate that. And I want Canada to eliminate all of our connections with the British royal family. But unfortunately, as of today, currently, there are too many Canadians in favor of that connection. And so I want our connection with the royal family to be absolutely eliminated. Anyways, and also, can you think of some other examples of plastic people? They have perfect smiles, their hair is always perfect, their gestures and movements are like they're machines. What do you think of those people? Maybe someone like politicians, something like that. So I'm looking for students to practice their English and to talk about this theme. And so I'd like to say hello to Abdallah. Abdallah, are you there?
Yes.
Hello, Abdallah.
How are you?
Good. We were worried that some of our Egyptian students were going to have problems using Verbling.
Why?
Because we have heard that Egypt has blocked the use of YouTube for 1 month.
Yeah, but this not
a big problem.
Not,
that's not connected
not
with
allowed.
the use?
Yeah, just a law in the court, but
oh, okay.
Don't make it.
Oh, they have not done it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm glad that you're here. And so what do you think of royal families, or you can choose to talk about plastic people, people who are too perfect to be real? Or would you like me to come back to you?
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like you need some time to get warmed up. Well, but welcome, welcome. Hamid?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. I am Hamid from Turkey, and when I was surfing from internet, I found a rock band group, the Plastic People of the Universe.
Okay, and sorry, this is a rock group?
Yes, rock band group.
And what are they called?
The Plastic People of the Universe.
Okay. And is there a picture of them?
Maybe I can.
Well, but do they look like plastic?
Like this. And I think no plastic, but Japanese people, Japanese scientists make robots,
okay.
person. Right. So
okay.
It looks like a real people. For example,
it looks like a real person. Yeah.
Yes.
But let me stop you, Hamid, because what we're talking about is an expression. So we're not talking literally about robots or people made of plastic. What we're talking about are real people, but the way they look artificial. They look too perfect to be real.
To be faking?
Well, no, but people who look too perfect. Too, always in English in that context, has a negative connotation. So to be too perfect means you can't believe this person. Their hair is perfect, their smile is perfect, and so they look very artificial. And the way they speak is perfect. Yeah, that's the idea. Let me come back to you. I'm going to move on to Inma. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome. Where are you?
Can you listen me correctly?
I can hear you. Yes, we can hear you perfectly. Where are you connecting from?
I come from Spain, from Madrid.
Okay, good. And so I know that the royal family in Spain was being criticized a lot lately. Is there anything new happening with that?
No more news except from the health problems of the king, the criminal problems of the husband of the
princess.
So
yeah,
it's a very it's a family that gives the Spanish of new news.
Okay, and so what's your personal opinion of the Spanish royal family?
I don't like it, but I think it holds a special situation because the king comes from the decision of the last dictator, the Franco dictator. Maybe now it's a figure that must be as a king, but I think that his son, the prince, has not any power of the people to be the king of Spain.
Yeah, so you don't think he will receive support from the people. All right, great. Let me move on just to get a quick comment from everybody. Ismail, how are you?
Fine, thanks. Geoff, how are you?
Good. So what do you think of plastic people? And we're also talking about royal families. What do you think of royalty?
I don't know not much about royal family, Geoff, but
okay.
I think they are very successful to govern other country in the world. For example, when I see the Indian or Australia, they were very successful. They are transferring your culture to another country, and today we see that all Indian people can speak English language very well. And
okay. So, well, there's no doubt that the British Empire was very, very powerful at one point and did have a lot of influence on the world, including Canada.
And today, I think all Britain, are respecting the royal family.
Okay. All right. So the history of the royal family is just too respected for them to be abolished. Would be the that's what I want.
Yes, but I don't know the meaning of the royal family of today. For example, you said that we are connected as a royal king, as Canadian, Geoff.
The Queen.
Is it important today to connect royal family or not?
Okay. No, great. Thank you. Thank you. And good points, because the British history is very very interesting. Luis, has there ever been a Brazilian royal family? Is there still a Portuguese royal family?
No. Brazil was an empire in the past. We had an emperor.
Emperor. Okay.
Emperor.
But it was a colony of Portugal, or
no? The king of Portugal ran away from Napoleon in the past and moved to Brazil when it was a colony. But after the independence, Brazil was an empire.
Okay.
But when the republic was proclaimed, the royal family was banned for Europe, and their palaces become a museum.
Okay. And so you can visit the old palace.
Yes.
Of the Emperor of Brazil. Is that what the person was called?
Yes, Dom Pedro I and Dom Pedro II.
Okay, sounds impressive. Yes, and we say the second or the first in English. All right, great,
yes.
Excellent. All right, good. And then I don't know your name, Saburi,
Yes.
Saburi. Yeah. What is your name?
Yes. My name is Mirza Ali Saburi.
Mizari?
Saburi.
Aburi.
You can call
okay.
me Ali or Saburi. Which one do you
again, please. Sorry. What do I call you?
You can call me Ali or Saburi. Which one do you prefer?
Saburi, please.
Okay. No matter.
Great. Where are you connecting from?
I'm from Iran.
Okay, good. And so what is your opinion of royal families? Or would you rather talk about sort of plastic, perfect, artificial people?
You know, I don't have much information about royal family in Britain.
Okay.
But in Iran, it was 34 years ago, the king of Iran removed by the revolution here in Iran, and you know, there is no royal or king family here in Iran.
And there is there anybody who still supports that idea, or do the people of Iran agree with that decision of removing the royal family?
Actually, all the people here in Iran don't support their royal, or actually the kingdom, or the non-democratic type of governing the country. You know, Iranian people in the favor of democracy here in Iran, and that's why the Iranian people rejected the kingdom, and after the revolution, the kingdom went to the Egypt and died after that.
Okay, great. And so, how long had Iran been under the rulership of a royal family? Was this centuries of history, or do you know? It ended 35 years ago, but how long had the royal family existed before that?
Maybe 2,500 years.
So it's amazing, really, the way that history can change so suddenly. Oh, good. All right. Well, in my opinion, congratulations to your people for removing your royal family. All right, great. That's just my opinion. But anyways, Marcia, go ahead, please.
I'm in UK, so I'm the royal family rules here. So, but the people is not very keen of it because they are invaded by the English empire. The British, it's because that you can call the Welsh people English. They feel offended by that.
The Irish people?
No, Welsh.
Welsh.
I mean,
oh,
Wales.
okay. Yes, Wales and Welsh. Okay, great. Absolutely.
The people don't like very much the royal family.
Right, right. No, Britain is made up of very different countries with very different history, especially Wales, where they have a different language still, correct?
A very difficult language.
Yeah, right. Okay. But are you going to go see Buckingham Palace, and are you going to go try to see the Queen?
No, I prefer the museum in London.
All right, great.
In London.
Okay, great. Thank you. And I'm going to move on to Osama. Hello, Osama. Osama, hello. Okay, we cannot hear you, Osama. And so I'm going to move on. I'll come back and check on you in a minute. Yasin.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
Yes, hello. Good. How do I pronounce your first name correctly, please?
I'm from Turkey. My name is Yasin. In Turkish pronunciation is Yasin. Yeah.
Yasin. Okay. And so what do you think of the royal families, specifically of Britain or other royal families?
Teacher, firstly, I must say I don't have any idea about the England, British royal family. I don't know, and I don't know another one. I only know Ottoman royal family of Ottoman Empire.
Okay, and did that ended? When did that end?
Ottoman Empire is ended 90 years ago.
Okay.
And and Turkish Republic to be founded 90 years ago, sorry.
And so it was completely eliminated, or you can still visit the buildings. People, there are still people alive who are from the original royal family?
No, the royal family of Ottoman Empire abandoned
they left the country? Yeah.
Yeah, another country. The country name is England.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So thank you. And Hamid is warning me that it's a very complicated subject. So let's move on. And so what I would like to do is to bring up the transcript. So I hope that you have all downloaded the transcript. Now, we're not going to be reading the exact transcript. This is GWF7. And so that's the PDF file that I would like you to have so that you can read and listen when we listen to the podcast. I'm going to bring up on the screen share the file that I prepared for us to read. And yes, we're talking about this modern day princess, this young woman who was just recently married, and some comments that were made about her that were somewhat, what's the term, somewhat controversial. All right, and so Abdallah, are you ready?
Yeah.
Great. And so could you please read this first part of the text? I wrote this first paragraph.
Yes, BBC Learning English. The British royal family is often described as being plastic and artificial. Let's listen to a story about the new princess, Kate Middleton. Middleton. It's
Okay.
in English. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the BBC Learning English programs. Could you read this, please?
Yeah. The plastic princess. Finin, hello, Nell. Today we have a royal story about Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, or as she is still often known, Kate Middleton.
Yeah, and her first name is Kate. Kate Middleton. She is a duchess, which is one of these royal titles. Here she is.
Yeah.
And good. And so let me see. I'm going to move this down. All right. And could you read this, please?
Yeah.
Hello?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Why in the first paragraph it was written a plastic princess? What that means, plastic?
Yes. Good. Now, the idea is this is an expression. And so we're not talking literally. We are talking figuratively. This is an expression to describe people who are too perfect. They look manufactured. They look artificial. And so someone made some criticism of this young woman because she is now appearing to be a perfect, artificial, manufactured figure. And so the British royal family is criticized for not allowing people to be normal. When you join the royal family, you have to become a figure. You have to represent the royal family, and therefore you need to become this sort of perfect person. And that can have negative connotations. And so that's the idea. All right. So excellent question. Thank you. And I rely on all of the students, please, to ask as many questions as possible. Just as
they get
yes.
They get some plastic surgery, or
no? That's a good question.
Does it mean different thing?
Yes. So no, this has no connection with plastic surgery. We're just talking about someone whose image is being perfected. And remember, the British royal family has experts who are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to make the individual people who make up the British royal family look perfect and to manage all the media and news reports about them. And so this woman, a writer, an author, has sort of criticized this tendency of the royal family not to allow people to be normal, not to allow them to be themselves, not to have an individual personality, but to become plastic as a figure of speech. All right, great. And so, Hamid, could you please read this for us?
Okay, Neil. Yes, Prince William's wife has been in the news this week after a well-known British novelist compared her to a shop window mannequin with no personality of her own.
Yeah, and let me help you with mannequin. So just the K sound.
Mannequin.
With that word, mannequin. All right? And so the QU is pronounced as a K. And here are some mannequins. So she's being compared to these plastic representations of people. She's not being allowed to express her own personality because she was a normal person for 20 some odd years. Okay. And so
just sorry,
yes?
I have one idea. I have an idea about plastic. we can look like Pinocchio, story hero.
Right.
I wrote chat box.
Yes, good. So Pinocchio is an interesting idea where he was made of wood and he wanted to become a real boy, a real person. So maybe it's the opposite, where the royal family has taken this young woman who was a real young woman and has turned her into a plastic figure, part of the royal family. All right. And so, Inma, are you there?
Yeah.
Yes, could you read this, please?
Okay. Fine. Now, the novelist in question is a woman called Hilary Mantel. She has won a number of awards for her books set during the rule of Henry VIII.
The Eighth.
He's an English king from the Tudor period.
Yeah, what we say in English when you have those numbers there, the Roman numerals, we say, and so this is how we would read those numbers. The eighth. Okay. All right, and here's a picture of King Henry VIII, which he's famous for having many wives. Could you continue reading this for us, please?
Yeah. Now, the Tudor period, that it's in the 16th century, well, from 1485, 1603, to be precise.
Precise.
Fine. Very good, Neil. And as a history graduate, I'm not surprised you knew that. But can you tell me how many wives Henry VIII had?
Yeah, and the choices? You have choice A, B, or C?
I think it could be 6.
Okay, all right, great. And so Henry VIII had 6 wives. Okay, we'll see. He was famous for having a lot of wives. All right,
Geoff,
great.
I think Henry VIII was Elizabeth's father.
Again, sorry?
I think Henry VIII was Elizabeth's father.
Are you meaning husband?
No,
or father. Ah, okay.
Father, Elizabeth's father.
He was a bad father. Yeah, okay, so, I didn't know that. Definitely he was a bad husband. And we'll learn a little bit more as we go along here. So, great. Ismail, could you read this for us, please?
Yes. Neil, well, I took my degree a long time ago, but I can still remember. I am pretty sure. The answer is C, 6. Finn. Okay, well, let's find out if you are right at the end of the program. Going back to Hilary Mantel, her quotes are from a long speech made, the London Review of Books lecture on the subject of royal woman.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Neil, we are going to listen to 3 clips from the speech itself. In the first, just pay attention to the descriptive language you hear.
Okay, and I'll stop you there. Thank you. And just the strange pronunciation of this word in English, it's women. So really, women, like a W-I, women.
Women.
Yeah, great. Okay, and so during the podcast, we will be able to hear this woman speaking. Remember, this is a transcript of a podcast. Luis, could you read this next selection for us, please?
Okay. Author Hilary Mantel, Kate Middleton, as she was, appeared to have been designed by a committee and built by craftsmen with the perfect plastic smile and the spindles of her limbs hand-turned and gloss varnished. Finn. We hear a number of interesting phrases here. Kate is designed by a committee.
Please continue.
Which means designed by a group of people who all have interest in the outcome. New. Yes, it's a negative phrase. She is then built by craftsmen with the perfect plastic smile.
Okay, and I'm going to get you to stop there. Thank you. It's not an important word, but this is spindles. Spindles. Those are long cylindrical rods. Spindles. All right, so the idea is she's being described as something artificial, plastic, perfect, made by a committee, designed and manufactured by a committee. And of course, she's referring to the royal family. So she's somewhat criticizing the royal family. Okay, and so let me move to this amount of text. Let's keep moving here because we'll have a chance to listen to this. Saburi, could you please read this for us? Yes, fin, and it goes.
And it goes to say that the spindles of her limbs are hand-turned and gloss varnished. A spindle is a thin wooden rod, and so this is a description you would expect of a beautiful doll, lovingly handmade and then covered in shiny, protective varnish. I need the language used in quite imaginative, as we would expect from an award-winning novelist, and it uses the vocabulary of craft or craftsmanship. It is what we might call an extended metaphor, we might say a long comparison.
Okay, and I'd like to stop you there, please. Thank you.
Okay.
And so this is what we're looking at. So this is the person speaking is a novelist. So she is a writer. And so she, the words that she chooses are very high level, very artistic. So she's saying that this woman, her image has been manufactured by craftsmanship. Okay, and so great. Do we have any questions? We're talking about a metaphor. So the princess, who is a real woman, is being compared to a doll, a plastic or wooden manufactured doll. Any comments from people?
No.
Okay, so let's move on. Great. And so this is the comparison. So let's go to Marcia. Yeah.
Finn, but when the long comparison is to a doll, to an object, you can see why it has caused controversy. No, that's right, which is the interesting point. By comparing Kate Middleton to an object, Hilary Mantel is really describing how she is
portrayed
by the media. We call this process objectification.
Objectification.
Objectification, becoming an object.
Okay, and let's stop there. Thank you. So just one more time, objectification. So turning. Yeah. So the media, under the direction of the royal family, is turning her into an object, and it caused with a Z sound, caused controversy. Right. Great. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit here for the next person, and let's get the next person here. And so Yasin, are you there? Yasin, yes. Yasin?
Harrison.
Okay, no, sorry. I'm talking to Yasin. Yasin, are you there? Okay, and so I'm going to go to Harrison.
Yes.
Hello, welcome. Where are you connecting from?
Yes, I'm doing well. I'm from Colombia.
Okay, great. Could you read this next piece of text for us?
Okay. Neil, let's listen to a bit more of the speech. Author Hilary Mantel. Machine-made, precision-made, so different from Dinah, whose human awareness and emotional incontinence showed in every gesture.
In every gesture.
In every gesture.
Okay, and this is Princess Diana. She was the wife of Prince Charles. And do any of the students have a comment about her? She's quite a famous person. She died in a car accident.
Yes, when she and Prince Charles in Paris.
So she and Prince Charles, sorry?
She and Prince Charles were together.
Yes.
Yes. They had traffic accident.
Okay, now not Prince Charles though. She was separated or divorced from Prince Charles at that time, and she actually died with another person. She was seeing another man at that time. She had a relationship with a new man.
Okay, I remembered, and I think this accident is a complot.
Yeah, a conspiracy?
Yes.
Yeah, there was well, in English we have the word a plot. So there was a plot, a secret plan to kill her, or a conspiracy.
Because,
okay, some people think of that.
And I believe Princess Diana near to be Muslim, so...
Right. Okay. She was going to become Muslim.
Yes, there is deep things, so I cannot speak very much.
No, that's fine. Sorry. Yeah, great. Okay, that's an interesting point. Now, I chose this picture of her. There are literally millions of pictures of her because I really respect what she did. First of all, I think she married Prince Charles, and she was a perfect princess. But the pressure of the royal family on her to be perfect and to hide her personality and to make her behavior perfect at every moment really hurt her emotionally. And she had a lot of emotional problems. And eventually, she left the royal family. She separated or divorced from the prince and started a new relationship with someone else. But she did do two things that I had a lot of respect for. She supported an international campaign to remove landmines from areas, and she also helped dispel a lot of the myths associated with people who were infected with the HIV virus and who were sick with AIDS. And at the time, there was a lot of fear of those people, and she helped educate people of the dangers of AIDS and HIV infection. So she did that. And so I think this author is criticizing the royal family for doing the same thing to Kate Middleton that they did to Diana. And what they did to Diana caused a lot of personal damage to her. She had a lot of emotional problems from the pressure of the royal family. And just first of all, this concept of emotional incontinence, this is a really strange comment, and I recommend to everyone not to use it. Ignore it. Forget it. Don't use this term. It's very strange, and it's quite offensive. So, yeah. All right. Now let's move on.
Teacher.
Yes? Sorry?
Savornia is
Yes,
calling.
please, go ahead.
But I respect for the royal family in the England because I know
Yes.
that the royal family in the England let the people to vote for their governors. It actually without any blood, without any any resistance
Interference?
against
Yeah,
the
right.
people.
Yeah.
People votes, you know, and that's why I like them. They respect their people, the Britain people.
Yeah,
And
the British people.
unfortunately, our king, when people vote against her and wants her to let the people to vote for their governments. Our king act against the people. Actually, he shot people with guns and he killed many people here in Iran. And Iran's revolution was a bloody revolution, you know.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the king of the United Kingdom, the king of the Britain, let the people to vote for their governments and to let the people to choose their president or their
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister, yes,
Yeah.
actually.
No,
And
that's a very good point. And I agree that the British Queen, the British royal family, does not have political power. It does not have official political power. And Britain is, or England is a completely democratic country. So good point. Thank you for your point. All right, and I'm going to go back to Abdullah. Please go ahead.
Yes.
Now, sorry, just the pronunciation of this name is Neil.
Neil, yeah. Neil, Neil, again, we heard the language of manufacture. Kate is precision made, machine made according to precise plans as if by machine. Finan, unlike Diana, who was very human. She talks about Diana's emotional incontinence. Incontinence is when you can't control yourself when you need the toilet. So Neil, so emotional incontinence is when you can't stop your emotions from showing. They showed in her every gesture, in each gesture or movement of her body.
Okay, great. I'd like to stop you there. Thank you. And just a reminder to everybody, you cannot hear the noise or the sound that's coming from your microphone. So really, everybody has to keep their microphones silenced, please. And if I'm making noise, please let me know. All right, and so yes, so they're comparing the situation of Kate Middleton, who is being controlled by the royal family, and Princess Diana, who after years of being controlled, fought back and became her own person and stopped being controlled by the royal family. Okay, great. And so, yes, good. Let's move on to the next person. Hamid, could you read this next selection, please, that begins with Finn?
Okay, Finn. Although Mantle says she may have had more personality, as we know, things ended badly for Diana. Author Hilary Mantel, we don't cut off the heads of royal ladies these days, but we do sacrifice them, and we did memorably drive one to destruction a scant generation ago. Film Hilary Mantel suggests that the media and public draw Diana to destruction. The constant attention on her private life was what caused Diana's death.
Okay, let me stop you there. Caused. Let's work on that word a little bit. So it's a Z sound, Z, caused, with a D sound as quick as possible. So that, and so great. So drove Diana to destruction people would not allow her to have a private life, and memorably drove one to destruction. A very short time ago, a scant generation ago. Now let's keep moving because we're running out of time. And so, Ismail, or I'm sorry, Inma, could you please read this for us?
Okay.
No, let me move this down. Sorry. And so.
Neil, I think.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Excellent.
Okay, Neil. And this happened a scant generation ago, which means barely a generation ago. Not long at all. Finn. Now, as I'm sure many people will know, Diana died in a car crash, but many royals in history died by one particular means. As Mantel says, they had their heads cut off. Neil.
Okay, maybe, yeah, please, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Neil, which brings us back to the question at the beginning of the program. I know that 2 of Henry VIII's wives had their heads cut off, or were beheaded. But you asked how many he had in total?
Okay, and let me just stop there for a second. Asked has a T sound as quick as possible. And right, so 2 of Henry VIII's wives had their heads cut off, or they were beheaded. And so he had them beheaded because he wanted a new wife, or something along those lines. So he was a bad husband. And so, Harrison, could I get you to read the answers, please? Go ahead. Finn?
Okay. Second. One moment, please.
No problem.
Finn. Now, as I'm sure many people will know, Diana died in car crash, but many royals in history died by one particular means. As Mantel says, they had their head cut off.
Okay, and please continue.
Neil, which brings us to the question at the beginning of the program. I know that 2 of Henry VIII's wife had their head cut off, or were beheaded, but you asked how many he had in total.
Okay, great. I'll get you to stop there. And just for people, program, this is the British spelling of the word program. And I can actually do the spell check. Oh, no. It's not there. So what we do is, to get the American spelling, we just simplify it to program. All right? And so what was it? Was it 4, 5, or 6 wives? Neil answered 6, and he studied British history in university, so he's right. He's absolutely right. So he had 6 different wives. All right, now let me play the podcast, and then we'll get back to the discussion of the topic here. And so I have my iPod, and now what I would like is for someone, please, while the podcast is playing, if they could turn on their microphone. Do I have a volunteer? And all they have to do is just say down when I need to move the text down. All right, and if I go too far, you can say up, and I'll move the text up. All right, let's play the podcast. It's called 6 Minute English because the podcasts are 6 minutes long. Enjoy.
Six Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.
Hello, I'm Finn. Welcome to 6 Minute English. With me in the studio today is Neil.
Hi there, Finn.
Hello, Neil. Today we have a royal story about Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, or as she is still often known, Kate Middleton.
Yes,
Prince William's wife has been in the news this week after a well-known British novelist compared her to a shop window mannequin with no personality of her own.
Yes, now the novelist in question is a woman called Hilary Mantel. She has won a number of awards for her books set during the rule of Henry VIII. Now, he's an English king from the Tudor period.
The Tudor period, that's the 16th century. Well, from 1485 to 1603 to be precise.
Very good, Neil. And as a history graduate, I'm not surprised you knew that. But can you tell me how many wives Henry VIII had? Was it A, 4, B, 5, or C, 6?
Well, I took my degree a long time ago, but I can still remember. I'm pretty sure the answer is C, 6.
Okay, well, let's find out if you're right at the end of the programme. Going back to Hilary Mantel, her quotes are from a long speech she made, the London Review of Books lecture on the subject of royal women.
We're going to listen to 3 clips from the speech itself. In the first, just pay attention to the descriptive language you hear.
Kate Middleton, as she was, appeared to have been designed by a committee and built by craftsmen with a perfect plastic smile and the spindles of her limbs hand-turned and gloss-varnished.
We hear a number of interesting phrases here. Kate is designed by a committee, which means designed by a group of people who all have an interest in the outcome.
Yes, it's a negative phrase. She's then built by craftsmen with the perfect plastic smile.
And it goes on to say that the spindles of her limbs are hand-turned and gloss-varnished. A spindle is a thin wooden rod, and so this is a description you would expect of a beautiful doll. Lovingly handmade and then covered in shiny protective varnish.
Indeed, the language used is quite imaginative, as we'd expect from an award-winning novelist, and it uses the vocabulary of craft or craftsmanship. An extended metaphor, we might say, a long comparison.
But when the long comparison is to a doll, to an object, you can see why it has caused controversy.
That's right, which is the interesting point. By comparing Kate Middleton to an object, Hilary Mantel is really describing how she is portrayed by the media.
We call this process objectification, becoming an object.
Let's listen to a bit more of the speech.
Machine-made, precision-made. So different from Diana, whose human awkwardness and emotional incontinence showed in every gesture.
Again, we hear the language of manufacture. Kate is precision-made, machine-made, made according to precise plans, as if by machine.
Unlike Diana, who was very human. She talks about Diana's emotional incontinence. Now, incontinence is when you can't control yourself when you need the toilet.
So emotional incontinence is when you can't stop your emotions from showing. They showed in her every gesture, in each gesture or movement of her body.
Although Mantel says she had more personality, as we know, things ended badly for Diana.
We don't cut off the heads of royal ladies these days, but we do sacrifice them. And we did memorably drive one to destruction a scant generation ago.
Hilary Mantel suggests that the media and public drove Diana to destruction. The constant attention on her private life was what caused Diana's death.
And this happened a scant generation ago, which means barely a generation ago, not long at all.
Now, as I'm sure many people will know, Diana died in a car crash, but many royals in history died by one particular means, as Mantel says. They had their heads cut off.
Which brings us back to the question at the beginning of the programme. I know that 2 of Henry VIII's wives had their heads cut off or were beheaded, but you asked how many he had in total.
Yes, was it A, 4, B, 5, or C6, Neil?
And I said C6.
And you were absolutely right, so well done there.
my memory is good.
Very good. Before we go, Neil, could you remind us of some of the words we learned today?
Yes, we heard shop window mannequin, objectification, machine made, emotional incontinence, gesture, scant, beheaded.
Thanks, Neil. Well, that's it for today. Let's behead the programme. Please join us again soon for another 6-Minute English from BBC Learning English.
Bye.
Bye.
That was 6-Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com.
From VOA Learning English, this is the Technology Report in Spanish.
Sorry, thank you. I hope that wasn't distracting. Thanks, Hamid. All right, and so I hope that you had the transcript. Someone is saying that they don't understand, or me neither. Alps is saying me neither. So we had the audio. Podcast, and there was the written transcript that you could have downloaded. And so, what a pronunciation! Okay, they should take a couple of classes from me. So Che always has some great comments, saying that the British pronunciation is quite different from the North American pronunciation. So what I'd like to do now is to just get some comments from people. And so the idea, the concept here is that the royal family is an institution that has a lot of history and a lot of responsibility. And so if anyone becomes part of this organization, like this young woman who has become a duchess, essentially a princess, married to a prince, so then they control her. And then there's so much pressure from the royal family to control what she does and says, and then so much pressure for the public to want to get to know her and to meet her and to see her. And so what I'd like to do is to go to Ismail. Ismail, do you have any comments about this?
Yes, Geoff, but I couldn't understand why the royal family tried to change the people's character and to make a different type of women or men.
Yeah, and I think that the royal family is going to change. But please go ahead, Ismail.
I accept that they are presenting royal family. They should obey some rules, but changing people's characters and making from them like a robot is not good.
Okay,
it's
excellent.
a heavyweight for a person, I think.
Yeah, the amount of pressure is amazing. Luis, the pressure on people who are in public positions?
Yeah, I think the principal person have to be more concerned with the situation is the Prince William, is because he wants to avoid that happen with his wife, what happened with our own mother.
Absolutely.
So you have to change your mind, the paradigm about the royal family, the way to behave to the people. I think he have to concern about it.
Good. A paradigm shift, a different way of thinking. Yeah.
Shift.
And I don't think that's going to happen while the Queen is still alive, but perhaps there will be some changes with Prince Charles, and then, as you've said, definitely with Prince William, whose mother was, she was devastated by the pressure of being caught between the royal family and the press and media in Britain, which is really terrible. Marcia, a comment from you, please, our UK expert.
Not exactly, but it's really the media here. It's terrible. It's the newspaper are rubbish. It's terrible, terrible. It's only gossipy. Only there's no content.
Yeah, they are just constantly looking or creating scandals.
Yes.
And they're doing everything they can to invade people's privacy. Yeah, great. And what I'd like to do is to go to Abdallah. Abdallah, do you have a comment?
Yes. In general, I don't like the royal family and the process they judge their peoples by it. But if I am from the royal family, I like it. But
If you were in the royal family, you would like it?
Yeah, yes.
Well,
But,
yeah, but be careful though, because when everything you say and do is controlled by a group of people, I don't know. You can't do anything. You can't go out in
yes,
public. Yeah.
but sometimes they people live in a special place and special life. But yes, they beautify themselves by people's money, but they are the royal family and they judge their people. So I love judging and being in charge of
Okay.
company,
So they,
country.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say they judge, maybe you mean they control their people. Yeah. And I'd like to say hello to Russell. Hello, Russell. Do you like the royal family in Britain? Still having microphone problems. All right. Hamid, a comment
Yes.
from you, please.
I think there are some mysterious and plot in royal family, and maybe we may see in near future, or our grandchildren will see.
That the truth will come out?
Yes.
About the conspiracy against
Yes.
Princess Diana. Okay.
Princess Diana, or like this.
Okay. All right. Great. And Inma, a final comment from you before I end the class?
Well, I think it's difficult to stand a position like this of princess. For example, in Spain, there is the example of the nowadays princess that was a former journalist.
Yeah.
As a journalist, she was a public figure too, but her image has changed completely.
Right. No, but please mention that. You know, this is a journalist who is speaking freely about all kinds of about all kinds of subjects. And then when she joined the royal family, she was silenced. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and now is a more distant person.
Yeah, and something like there was some comment her husband made, something like, you know, women should remain quiet, or don't interrupt me when I'm speaking, or something stupid.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Great. And so thank you so much for your participation. All-star participation as always. Thank you. I hope that you found that interesting. And eventually, I'm going to create my new Facebook page, my Facebook page specifically for verbling.com, the next Facebook of language learning. And I need more interaction from students because I'm sitting here by myself in my apartment trying to think of things, interesting things for the students to talk about. So come on. There's hundreds, thousands of you guys. Give me some ideas about subjects, about what you want to read about. You listen and you watch little videos. So you're reading, listening, watching, and talking about issues that are interesting for you. That's the key to improving and developing your English. So great job, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Geoff.
Okay, see you.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. See you.
Thank you, Geoff. Thank you, Webling.
Great comments, Ismail. Yeah. Why do they turn their people into robots when they saw what it did to Diana? Yeah.